and who you are. The next story is called With Love. It is written by an Ian Gonzalez. I am in the kitchen making turkey gumbo. It's an old family recipe, meaning that it doesn't have an exact recipe. You need the basics: a good roux, seasonings you love, lots of meat. But the particulars are up to you. Making a good gumbo is an adventure, an exercise in building something wonderful. Beyond the kitchen entry, a small crowd gathers in the dining room, sitting around an old table of dark wood, bearing the scuffs and scars of many years of use. The babble of conversation washes over me, but I don't take part. It's not that I can't afford the distraction. I just don't feel a connection, a sense of belonging, of being a part of things. I bring the shallots over to the sink and give them a good rinse. Out of the dining room, gather around the table, talking, joking, sharing the family views. From the backyard, I hear the laughter and joyous shrieking of children playing. Nieces and nephews having a great time. Delighted to be somewhere new, somewhere out of the ordinary. It's nice to see that simple things can still bring happiness to children. I carry the shallots back to the cutting board and start chopping. My gumbo has 3 different types of onions in it. Really adds a lot of flavor. You can't get enough good flavor in gumbo. I hear my older sister talking about her kids and how much they've grown, how well they're doing in school and getting along with their friends. And her husband and how his law practice is going, how much money he's making. I'm really happy for her, glad that she has the family she always wanted, that they're supported and cared for. I'm not sure if I ever told her that. A soft sizzle comes from the pot on the stove. I hastily wipe my hands on my apron, pick up a large wooden spoon. Stirring the roux is critical. You can't let it burn. It's the base for the entire meal. You stir it briskly to keep the flour from burning, to keep the oil and the butter from scorching. In seconds, a rich, yeasty odor rises from the pot and brings a smile to my face. Through the rising steam, I see my younger brother showing off something on his phone. His latest grades. Oh, he's doing well. Going to be a teacher. One day a professor of world history. He's always loved the subject. It's good that he keeps us appraised of his progress. I hope he has a long and happy future ahead of him. But I don't think I've ever said that out loud. Opening the fridge, I root around the crowded mess until I find the sausage. I know Cajun food started out as something that starving refugees scrounged together. But these days, a lot of people are obsessed with the finest of this and the best of that. Seriously, get over it. Just cook with what works. For me, that's off-the-shelf ingredients, generic brands. I don't read the package contents. I judge it on taste, on how it makes the recipe better. As I set the package on the counter, I take up my knife again. I hear the scrape of a chair moving. Glancing through the doorway, I see my mom leaving the table and heading to the kitchen. Hey there. She walks past me, headed for the coffee pot. How's it going? It's going great, Mom. I slice up the open sausage package and start chopping the links into bite-sized bits. Just fine. She pours herself a cup of joe, adding the rich aroma of coffee to the air. That smells amazing, she says, nodding towards the stock pot. Thank you. I open the pot and scrape the sausage off the cutting board and into the simmering roux. Good, good. She takes a sip. You're such a good cook. I give her a quick smile. Hey, you taught me everything I know about cooking, Mom. Once more into the fridge I go, fetching out a large container of turkey meat. It's all in little, soft bits, masqueraded off the turkey carcass from last year's holiday dinners, which have lain in the depths of the freezer for months. Preparing the turkey meat is an operation in of itself. Nothing is a greater expression of familial love and devotion than boiling bones for hours, and spending more hours flensing all the tiny pieces of meat off of them. Now, all I have to do is put it in the pot. When the meat is in the pot, I add a healthy measure of broth and give it a gentle stir. Then the lid goes back on. Now the only thing to do is add is time. Simmer this baby for 45 minutes to an hour, and it'll be perfect. In cooking, like a lot of things in life, time is the one factor that really determines success from failure. It can bring things together and bind them inseparably. Turn what was once a bunch of disparate elements into a complete whole. Taking time, giving time, is very important. Thank you so much for doing this, Mom says. You're welcome. I know it's a lot of work, cooking a meal for a big family like this. I'm happy to do it. And I am. Really, I love cooking, and I love my family. Maybe I don't show it in everyday life. Maybe I don't reach out and connect very well. So when we all get together, it seems the least I can do is make dinner. Because every time I cook for people that I love, I'm cooking with love. I head to the pantry and fetch out the bread. It's not fresh, but it's not supposed to be. Stale bread goes best with gumbo. I slap a slice in the bowl, add the gumbo. Heaven. Not everything has to be fresh and new to be perfect. Sometimes time has to pass. Things have to age and mature. Cooking taught me a lot of lessons about family. You can't always follow a recipe. You can't always expect to have the best things to work with. Sometimes they're not even the best for what you're trying to make. Give things time. Time to come together. Time to grow and time to change. I turn to my mom with a smile. Now we just have to wait. It'll be ready soon. She smiles back at me, nods. Together we head back into the dining room where the rest of the family awaits. Most importantly, I learned when it comes to doing anything for your family, you just have to do it with love. That is the story With Love, as written by an Gonzalez.